Welcome in this new video of the series. And in the previous video, we discussed how it's possible to group data based on an aggregation function. However, in this video, we are gonna touch another subject, which is loading data into into the Python environment, and then also exploring the data. So the first step would be to load the data into Python, into the Python environment. And it is possible to do that through the read Excel or read CSV based on the data that you want to import. Let's say that we want to import an Excel file, then we have to use pandas and then read Excel. Between brackets, we then have to paste the path of our file. So, for example, I want to let me share my screen. Yes. So in this case, this is the path of my file, and always remember to put an R before the quotes. Then print df data frame, and then we can run. And as you can see, now we have the contents of um, my Excel file in here in our Python environment. You can also do that for CSV files, for SQL files. So there are many options available. So the first thing that I would do is to explore the, uh, the data. So let's see, and let's look at the first five rows of this table. And in order to do that, we have to um, first first rows to use the head function. Sorry. Then data frame head. Yes. So by default, it's the first five rows, but we can also decide three or four. It's pretty much based on what we want to see. So print first rows, and then we would have this. Yeah. So then the machine prints the first five rows of the data frame. It's also possible to do that for the last five rows, and we can do that by using the tail function. Also in this case, the default number of rows of bottom rows is five, but you can specify how many rows you want to get returned by writing the number between the brackets. So print last rows. We can hide this. And here you should see, yeah, you should see the bottom five rows of our data frame. Another interesting function is the info one. So when we use it, we can get general information about our data frame. So info would be uh, dot info and then info. Yes. So here we can see information about the number of rows, the number of which is 15, the number of observations, which is from 0 to indexed from 0 to 14. We have four columns, and on the column we can see the name of our columns, the count of rows, and then also the data type for each column. For example, employee ID is an integer, department is text, tenure and salary are also integers. Then, if you want to know some descriptive statistics about our data frame, we can use the describe function. So this so df dot describe, and then we can print the this. Now we should see like the average and other, yeah, so the count of rows for each column, for each variable, the average value. So it doesn't really makes a lot of it doesn't make sense to interpret the average employee ID, but it makes sense if we look at tenure. So we know that the tenure is 4 years and a half, and we know that the average salary is around 63,000. Yeah, 63,333. So we have the standard deviation. We have the minimum values for each column, the first quartile, the median, and then the third quartile, and then the maximum values. So this is a really descriptive statistics about simple and descriptive statistics that summarizes what we are looking at in our data frame. Then one more thing that will be important to consider is the shape function. So shape is df dot shape. Uh, so basically here we have two numbers. The first number is the number of rows in the data frame, and the second number indicates the number of columns. So we have 4 columns and 15 rows. Then one last thing is the dtypes function. Data type, data. So this function, the dtypes function, um, uh, indicates the data type for each variable in our data frame. So employee ID is an integer as well as tenure and salary, while department is an object, so is a string of text. And for this video, this is all. So we have explored how it is possible to load data from other sources in our Python environment, and how it is possible to do a introductory and exploratory analysis of our data frame. I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good one.